no idea what's coming.
Okay, welcome to Talkin Smack. Okay, it's the week of June the 12th, 13th, or whatever the hell it is. Alright. A little slow with making the videos, but because I still got a lot of health issues I'm getting over. I've been in the doctors for a while, for the last 2 weeks, so. But I'm doing good. I don't want to really talk too much about it because it's a pain in the ass. It's one of those deals where you ever go to a store or something like that, and you see somebody you don't want to talk to or something, or you don't feel like talking about a specific subject. You know what I mean? I don't feel like talking about it. I'm okay though. So anyway, let me get the clipboard here. Oh, you gotta quit. Hey, Rocky Marciano, look at him. That's for boy, bro. Rocky Marciano. Knocking out Jersey Joe Walcott. I grew up a big, huge Marciano fan. I actually had read his books and shit. And I even had him in my senior caption, you know. Him and Arnold, both. And my father. Those were my idols. Alright. Got the clipboard here because I wanted to take notes about shit. Because I got to make sure I get shit right when I go ranting here. So today I'm going to talk about a few things. You know, obviously we'll touch a little bit more on some of the political shit. I'm not going to go crazy with the political shit because I know that some of you guys are probably sick and tired of that, you know. First, though, we got to talk about our sponsor here. Let me put the clipboard down. First, we got to talk about, right here, Game Face, okay? This is brought to you, this show is brought to you by Game Face. So they are our sponsor. So we have to fucking, you know, we have to talk about Game Face. Now, Game Face, my friends, I've had a few of you guys actually, a lot of you guys have bought this, and I've heard really, nothing but really good reviews for this stuff, okay, from you guys. I've been taking it for a while. My friends came up with it, okay, two brothers, and, you know, because they don't need to do this. They're fucking multi-millionaires from other businesses, okay? I'm not going to tell you what business, but anyway, they have nothing to do with the supplement industry. So I have people asking me, yo, does Game Face have like any, like, you know, cool shirts and shit and hats? No, they don't. They don't have anything. They don't have any merch, as you guys call it, merchandise. Because they wanted to just come out with just a product, and they wanted to make it affordable. It's a smart drug, okay? That's what this is. This is nootropic on fucking steroids. This shit is fucking good. It's not loaded with stuff that's going to make you fly. It's loaded with stuff that's going to help your brain. Okay, there's very little of that shit. I mean, we could have sat here and I could have had him load this shit. I could have told you, not me, it's not my subject, but I could have advised him on that, and he would have done it. But there's very little in here, okay, of that stuff. You mix it with stuff like pre-workout, you're going to go fucking bonkers. But this is a nootropic. It helps to rebuild the brain, you know, the neurotransmitters. This is the kind of shit Dave Palumbo loves. Nootropics is one of the things he loves. And the shit in this is ass-kicking. You could ask him, okay? Game Face. Alright? The guys who made this are from Long Island anyway. But they didn't make it to go out and make money with it or any of that. They made it for the boys and people our age, you know, because I'm fucking 60 years old and they're my age. And they wanted to get something to help their brains, help reboost their. They don't eat, they're not bodybuilders, they're actually overweight, okay? But this shit is so good. This destroys Joe Rogan's alpha brain. Alpha brain. Okay? On its alpha brain. And that, sorry, we just need a bar with nuts in it. Anyway, so, this destroys alpha brain. It destroys it. Go read the ingredients. It's not even close. This doesn't have oat bran extract and stupid shit. Like, this got mushroom extracts in it. This fucking shit's real. Okay? I don't care if you buy it. But they're our sponsors here. Okay? There's no promo codes. The fucking bottle of this is half the price of what you would pay for another bottle of nootropic. And this shit kicks ass so strong, they can't even sell it on Amazon. They don't care. They're not trying to make $1 million. GameFaceSupplements.com. That's the sponsor of Talkin Smack. GameFaceSupplements.com. Take that shit before you gotta go take a test. Or if you gotta do something, okay, when you need to be alert, take it. You should be taking it every day. I take it. They tell you take three pills, 3 capsules is a serving, 3 of them. I take 3, but I take it throughout the day. I can't take 3 together because they make my brain go, you know what I mean? I get like fucking crazy, you know? But I'm sensitive to that. Just like if I could break off the tiniest little piece of a Viagra, just a little chip of Viagra, take that shit, and my dick is fucking hard for 2 days. You know, I can't get it to go down. Alright? But then again, I got a girlfriend who's an nymphomaniac, and she's fucking, you know, Latina, so you gotta keep that shit happy. And Dr. Coker says, you gotta fuck a shpakim. You gotta fuck a shpakim every fucking day if you can. Keeps the fucking balls active, helps keep the prostate, which is a muscle, working. It's a beautiful thing. But this too. This shit, I wouldn't say it enhances your sex drive, but it can help a little bit with horniness. The mushroom extracts, this guy lion's mane and everything else in there, bro. Vinpocetine, which is fucking banned from you know, they use it for Alzheimer's patients. That's how good this shit is, and it's cheap. And those guys are not a supplement because they don't give 2 shits. So there's no merch. But I'm telling you, you want to start rebuilding the brain, having trouble forgetting, stop all that bullshit you see on TV. That's the shit. Ain't no oat extract. Bullshit. All right, let's get this. I did that. So that's our sponsor. We gave them their fucking thing. Let's go.
Why go with sugar-filled pre-workouts? Get your game face on and experience true focus all day, every day. This isn't your usual performance pill. These nootropic capsules help you play harder, train better, and focus more. Working out at the gym? Boom. Game Face has you covered. Trying to carry your friends in game? You'll do a lot more than carry. With Game Face, you'll make the enemy rage quit. Need to finish that essay that's due in an hour? You'll wish you found Game Face sooner. A 14-hour car ride with the kids? Don't worry. Game Face will keep you alert the entire time. Try Game Face today and experience a whole new meaning of focus.
All right, and by the way, I just took, before I did this show, I took a Game Face because I need it, man. You know, got a lot of other shit. Taking other medicines, they're making me like Jagad. So Game Face, it doesn't give me war, but it makes me get focused. So let's get focused. All right. I'll touch a little bit political. Sure, we'll get a little bit. But right now, first I want to talk about Robby Robinson. All right, I saw the interview, okay, on Generation Iron. I work for Generation Iron too, so you guys know that. And I had a lot of people writing to me, and there's a few guys who wrote to me who been writing to me for a long time. And it told me way back when he was pulling all that bullshit about, you know, grubbing money and stuff like that. And, you know, on the internet and saying, oh, you know, if everybody would give me $1, I'd be fine and be able to pay my bills. Bro, first of all, there's government fucking things. Even I get my bills paid, okay, because of my fucking cancer. All right? Even if you have benefits, and I have benefits, even though it's the government still will help pay, you got to go to the right fucking source. You don't need to go grubbing money. That's so you could live. Don't give me that bullshit. All right. I got to be honest with you. Listen to me, okay? I've got a lot of people writing to me, telling me Robby took money from them, duped them of money, a lot of situations. I'm not going to get too into that here because that's really none of my business. I don't hate Robby Robinson. I met him many a times years ago. And I'm going to tell you, let's start off with the Joe Weider shit that he talked about because that pisses me off. All right? I knew both Joe Weider and I knew Ben Weider. And I can tell you this. Now, I'm white, as you haven't noticed. But I could tell you, in Robby's own words, where he starts that racist shit, he's full of shit. He's a liar. He's known to be a bullshit artist. This is the guy that supposedly had 4 girls he was married to at the same time or dating at the same time, and they didn't even know about each other. Okay? He's full of shit. First of all, Robby Robinson says that in 1975, Joe Weider flew him out to California. So now Joe Weider's going to take money out of his pocket, right? And fly this guy. This is Robby's own words. Go back and watch the fucking interview. So Joe Weider's going to take fucking money out of his pocket, right? And he's going to fly a guy all the way from Tallahassee, Florida, and he's going to bring you in. And then he's going to say to you, sit you down and say, first off, I don't give contracts to blacks. They, you know. And I don't remember if Robby said the N-word or not. Joe Weider wasn't that kind of guy. But let's play the game here for a minute. So Joe Weider's going to fly somebody all the way. That's like you meeting some girl online. And you fly her all the way in, and you had this little online relationship with her, and then she gets there, and you tell her, listen, just to let you know, I don't date girls I meet online. Well, what'd you fly her out there for? Well, why was he flown out there? Why was he on the cover of Muscle and Builder? He was even back then, he was on the cover of Muscle and Builder. He was in Muscle Builder all the time. Okay? That's how racist Joe Weider was. That he used him for photos and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, did Joe Weider use his, first I used to hear it was Clancy Ross. Okay, that was his body. And then you hear it's Robbie Robinson. I don't give a shit what Joe Weider put his head on, to be honest with you. Okay, Robbie Robinson got instant fame when Joe Weider brought him out there. Everybody was put him in the magazines. He was a monster. I'm going to tell you one of Robbie's problems. Okay, why Robby didn't win some shows. And he did win a lot of shows, so let's not go there. But I'll tell you one of Robbie's problems. A, Robby never smiled. They said he used to scare the judges. He'd look at them, and he had this big fro. He'd look like a lion. And he almost posed with a mean face on. Number one. Number two, which is the real reason why, was because Robby was the king of the gym. They used to say this all the time back then. I know. I was in the gym back then. Okay? Robby was known for looking great. In the gym, he was Mr. Olympia. But he never changed. He looked exactly on the stage as he did on the gym. Okay? So he was never really peeled enough. He was ripped walking around the gym. But he didn't look any different up on stage. Okay? Gabish? You understand? You can see Schwarzenegger looking small, or this guy looking small, or that guy. And on the day of the contest, I told you what I seen Lou Ferrigno, who's not a big fan of me, and I'm not a big fan of him. Okay, but I will give him props. I seen him in like March, and then I seen him again in June, and it wasn't even the same. I was like 75 pounds heavier and ripped and shredded and everything else from the movie Sinbad. Before, if you looked at what he looked like in February and March, which I was in the gym with him. Okay, I was young. He didn't know me, but I was there in the gym. He looked like a basketball player. And then I was there in person in New York when he took off his clothes. He posed as Sinbad, and he looked unfucking believable. But okay, there are some guys who respond to Jews. Robby never changed. He never ever changed. He looked the same in the gym as he did up on stage, and he looked flat. Okay, his color wasn't as rich, and he looked flat. Okay, I'm just telling you, those are some of the reasons why Robby didn't win a contest. It wasn't because Joe Weider didn't like black guys. Joe Weider didn't give a shit. Joe Weider, Harold Poole was down there with Joe Weider fucking back in the day. Sergio Oliva, Serge Nubret came over from France under Weider. You know, my friend Leon Brown, who's black, was beat Franco Colombo in a bodybuilding show, right? He beat Franco Colombo for Mr. World. So much for the Weiders not liking black and holding black people back. That's in Franco's prime, bro. That's in Franco's prime. Leon Brown. Google it, okay? He's my good friend. Never once did he say anything about Joe Weider. And he was with Arnold every day and Franco and everything. Arnold used to break Franco's balls. Hey, look, here's Leon. Oh, wait, that's right, he beat you in a contest. And they would train together, and Franco wouldn't talk to Leon for like 6 months. You gotta hear Leon tell you the story. Joe, and Leon's just as black as Robby. Doesn't mean that, you're not going to fucking play that fucking race shit, bro. I think that Robby was just sour grapes, man. I just think that he felt like he should have won more shows than he did. And everybody feels like that. You show me a bodybuilder that places second and third, that doesn't think that he really could have won the show or whatever. It's normal. Everybody, this is bodybuilding because it's being judged by fucking bodybuilders. So who's to say? I say it all the time. Who's to say who the best physique is? If I had a Pablo Picasso, now I come from a family artist. My father was an artist. That's how we made a living. Okay, my sister's an artist. My mother was an artist. That's how they made money to feed the house. It wasn't a hobby. That's what my father did for a living. He was a commercial artist. He started out as a cartoon artist, and he was an illustrator, and then he was a graphic artist, you know, and that's what he did, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you something. You look at a Pablo Picasso, and then you look at a Michelangelo. Who do you think is better? It depends. There's people who will tell you, to me, Pablo Picasso looks like some high school kid painted in art class. That's what Pablo Picasso looks like to me. All right? It looks like shit. And there's other people who, you can see a Michelangelo, man, or Leonardo da Vinci, 2 guineas, by the way, And you can say, wow, look at that, man. That shit looks like a picture. It's beautiful. Who's to say who's better? It's a matter of the eye of the beholder, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. I thought Robbie Robinson was great, okay? He was fucking great. His physique was great. He had tiny waist, the way his legs were. But when he was up next to those guys, he looked flattened out. He didn't look as ripped. He wasn't as short, and he didn't pose right. He just stood there and no smile on his face, and he looked like a lion up there, And you had Schwarzenegger, all charismatic and everything like that, Lee Haney came on. He didn't have any problems with Joe Weider being a racist. These guys were all on the cover of Muscle and Fitness, Muscle Builder, Flex, all that. No problem. No problem. You know what I mean? Don't stand here and call Joe Weider a racist. Don't do that. Don't do that shit, because that shit's not right, man. That shit is not right. You don't know, all right? You're listening to his side of things, because he's got sour grapes. One minute he says, I don't hate Joe Weider, I just have no respect, I don't respect him and stuff, because, he's really going to sit here and say, well, I'm Joe Weider, and who's going to believe you? You're black. He said that in the interview. Dude, I've been around Joe Weider. I know a lot of guys that knew Joe Weider. Joe Weider was a little funky, okay? Was he a closet guy? I don't know. But don't go telling me any of that bullshit that he was a racist, he didn't like black people. There was plenty of blacks that made... Rick Wayne, who you even brought up in your interview there, Robbie. Rick Wayne was one of fucking Joe Weider's right-hand men. He ran a lot of that muscle fitness shit for a while. The problem is Rick Wayne has his own issues up here, too. It was another one with the race and the this and the that. And he wanted to get into the government of his St. Lucia Island. That's why he left. Then he ran for government. He held a political position over there. But don't give me that shit. Don't give me that shit about Joe Weider, Ben Weider. I knew Ben. I knew both Joe and Ben. I knew Ben very well. I have Ben's phone number still on my phone. Okay? Because we were both very much, I'm into the political, Civil War and all, he wrote books. He was a world-leading authority. People don't notice. On Napoleon Bonaparte. Okay? Ben Weider. So, don't give me no fucking bullshit. Stop calling a guy racist, especially since you have nothing to back that up. Don't tell me he flew you out here, spent all this money, kept you, paid you. How'd you pay for your hotel or wherever you lived, or your room and board, wherever you lived? How'd you do all that stuff? Because he fucking supported you. Don't give me that bullshit that he flew you all the way out here just to tell you, well, I don't get blacks contracts. What are you flying me out here for then? You were instantly in the movie. You flew out in 75 and you were instantly in the movie Pumping Iron. Come on, man. Stop the fucking bullshit. Dude, I hate that shit, bro. You have no idea how much I fucking hate that. And by the way, I just said 2 guineas. Pablo Picasso. Not Pablo Picasso. Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. Okay. And one of you guys in the comments was like, Guinea, you say Guinea, no, Italians not supposed to say that, and all this other stuff, in the neighborhood where, my cousin lived. Dude, first of all, I'm from the Bronx, okay? I could say whatever I want to say. I say it to another Italian. It's just like blacks calling each other, the N-word and stuff. Some blacks don't like it. But the blacks don't give a shit. They still do it. Most of them just still call each other that shit. Okay? I do with my friends. Joe Pietaro and I. It's just like the whole deal. Is it gravy? is a sauce. It's macaroni. It's not pasta. You understand? We call it gravy, not sauce. We call it macaroni, not pasta. Not all Italians. There's a certain faction of Italians. Just like I could sit here and say, Joe, look at he's a fuck crazy guinea, that Pietaro. He could say the same thing about me. We talk like that, okay? Just because that's the way we were brought up. I don't give a shit what your cousins were brought up. You're not from the Bronx, so don't fucking talk about that shit. You're one of the guys on here saying, oh, my cousins are from the Bronx, and they don't use it. That's them. That's them. They probably also say sauce. We don't say sauce. They also say pasta. We don't say pasta. We say gravy. Macaroni. Anyway. So give me the shit. Everybody's different. It's the way I talk. I know Carlo Filippone. Okay, he's my good boy. But he doesn't like when we say guinea. He gets very upset about that. Okay. Now, I know he grew up in Italy. You know, I think he was born in Italy. I'm not sure. But it doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter. That's him. He doesn't like that. Just like he'll say sauce. We say gravy. He'll say pasta. We say macaronis. It's a different era of Italian. At least I'm Italian saying it to another Italian. It's the way it boils down to. It's just like a black saying to another black. Alright? So get your girdle fucking loosened up a little bit. Anyway, get back to Robby Robinson. So, you know, Robby's playing a race card. You know, the infamous race card. He also started that white privilege shit. Dude, I'm so sick of that shit. It's economic privilege. Okay, because white privilege didn't stop fucking Lee Haney from beating fucking Rich Gaspari and every other fucking pro bodybuilder for how many years? Right? Didn't stop Sergio Oliva in the early 60s from fucking being King Kong, beating every fucking white bodybuilder there was, and Sergio's just as black as any black man. Doesn't matter if he's whatever. And Sergio Oliva's, to me, is one of the greatest bodybuilders ever lived. His genetics was sick. Okay, even Arnold said it. Don't give me that. Stop playing that white privilege shit. I'm sick and tired of that today. Today, I'm sick and tired of it. Economic privilege, not white privilege. That's why Ray Rice could knock out his wife on national television with a fucking inside of a fucking elevator, and drag her out like a sack of shit, right, and leave her knocked out on cold like this. And he did it with a camera going. If that was me or that was you, doesn't matter if you're white or black, we'd all go to jail for that. But when you're a fucking pro athlete, you can get away with that shit. Don't give me that fucking bullshit. It's economic privilege. People who come from rich family, a great economic background, they get themselves out of shit. They don't do jail time. No matter what they do. Anyway, so he's playing that white privilege shit in that Generation Iron. You know what I mean? Listen, Dave Palumbo freaked out. Oh, Robby Robinson's, he's a legend. You shouldn't be treated. I don't give a shit if he's fucking a legend or not. What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? He's grubbing money. Don't give me that bullshit. I know what it is. He's 70-something years old. It's not all for sickle cell anemia. You get your money, you go out and fucking work. It's because he's probably never worked a job, you know, like you gotta fucking, you know, he wants to be a bodybuilder. That's what it is, dude. It's for you in your 70s now. Go get on some social service fucking thing. Get some food stamps to feed yourself. Do what you gotta do to, you know, help you with housing if that's what you gotta do. You know what I mean? But don't think because you're a pro fucking bodybuilder, because you're some sort of legend, that you should just be able to live free, have a mansion, and do whatever. Fuck that. There's plenty of bodybuilders who are legends, who do something else, or who are broke, or living in a van somewhere because they can't fucking feed themselves because they think they should just get, you know, money for working out, you know, or for who they are. Well, I'm a legend. Give me money. And then there's plenty of bodybuilders who accomplish shit. They're just internet, they know savvy on the internet, and now they're making fucking millions of dollars as an influencer or whatever. I don't know what to tell you, bro. But you know, you can't be hitting people for scuttle. And don't give me the sickle cell anemia shit. You got that. You go to if you go to the state where you live in, especially you live in California, it's the most liberal state. You're black. Holy fuck, you should tell them I want a mansion, I want a car, I want this, get me the fuck out of here with that shit. They'll give you money for your sickle cell. They'll make sure your shit gets paid. I get paid for my cancer treatment. Alright? And I got benefits. But my benefits can't pay for it. The state picks it up. Anyway. You're black, I'm white, dude. I'm on the low end of the tour. I'm the fucking racist. I'm the evil white man. You know what I mean? I'm the fucking... Today, anyway, don't get me started on that shit, alright? I'm sick and tired of that, bro. Sick and tired of that. The evil white man. I gotta pay for what some slave did fucking 200 years ago. My family wasn't even here. Fuck that shit. Pay yourself. Anyway, what was I going to say? So, I'm just, I was there one time. I saw Robbie Robinson. I've told this story a million times. I was there. I was young. It was like 1981. He was upstairs. I got there. He was upstairs sitting in front of a locker, just sitting in his underwear, staring into space. I left it there like a 2-3 hour workout. He tanned, had Andreas Cowling harass the shit out of me while I was tanning. You know what I mean? Because he wanted to get into bed. I get back upstairs and Robbie's still sitting there, not talking to anybody, still in the same spot, still looking into the open fucking locker. He's a fucking dude. He was whacked. Tanya Knight told me before she was at a party. She said she went in it. They were swimming. It was a swimming party. Everybody was outside, at the pool, and Robbie stayed inside, and he was sitting there staring at a TV that wasn't even on. She said the whole time he stayed there. Look, was it true? I don't know. I can tell you what I saw. I don't hate Robbie Robinson. He was a legend. He was one of my favorite bodybuilders. But, it's time to step up, do the right thing, go fill out the government papers, get your shit paid for. Don't ask people for money because you're a legend. I'm sorry, Dave Palumbo says $1's not good enough for a legend. Well, who says you got to pay for people to be legends? What does that fucking mean? I got to take money out of my pocket and give somebody $1 because they're a legend? They're calling Joe Weider a racist? Joe Weider's not here to fucking protect himself or fucking give his side to shit? Really? The fuck out of here. So, I'm going to end this, man. I'm just going to say Joe Weider's not here to protect himself. Joe Weider's not here to give his side to that. I can tell you now, Joe Weider's not the kind of guy who's going to fly somebody out there. He was very good to people. Loved bodybuilders. He was like Steve Blackman in a lot of ways. He loved bodybuilding so much. He didn't give a shit if you were white or black. He didn't give a shit. He cared more about... Now, wait a minute. On the covers... They used to say that a lot of times a white guy sells more on a cover, but I never heard that Joe Weider say that. It was and Joe, what's his name, John Romano. We talked about this on, because we both are the two longest workers ever with muscular development, and we talked about it. And Steve Blackman never said I'm not going to put a fucking black guy on a cover. Never. That was all rumor that people used to believe that. Steve Blackman used to say. Whoever was the top guy. When Ronnie was the top guy, Ronnie cover sold like you wouldn't believe. Okay? So don't believe all that shit. The fucking Robby was on the cover of Muscle Builder. Okay? More than once. He was in all the magazines. He got a lot of play in the magazines. Even when Victor Richards was 16, he was in the magazines. He got play. And he's black, and that's from back then. Listen. You're not going to fuck it. You're not going to twist that shit. That's not fair to say that. How stupid. Your own statement, it goes against what the truth is, okay? You said he flew you out there. And then he sits you down and says, I don't hire black people. And then he says to you, and you could tell anybody you want, nobody's going to believe you because I'm Joe Weider and you're not, and you're nobody. You really believe Joe Weider said that? I read the comments on a Generation, and they're like, good for Robby. You stick up. I always knew Joe Weider was racist. Dude, listen to me. Racism is a big fucking word to use. Today it's a tool. It's a tool, okay? But when you a real racist is dangerous. And that's a big word to be using to somebody. Just because, even if somebody used the N-word, that doesn't mean they're racist. Sometimes people say things like, my friend is fat, and shit. If I said to my friend, oh, you fat bastard, get her, come here, you fat bastard. Jesus Christ, you almost killed yourself. It doesn't mean I don't fucking love him. I hate him because he's fat. That's stupid. You know what I mean? I tell you before, I'm 5'6". I have a friend that's 6'6", and he used to see me say, yo, shorty. You know what I mean? Does that mean he hates short people? No. Okay? Believe me. I don't believe any of that shit that Robby was saying on that fucking Generation Iron. I think that he's just a little stewed because he feels like, yo, dude, look at all I accomplished. I'm Robby fucking Robinson and shit, and I'm sitting here broke. All these other guys, they didn't win any of the titles I won. They didn't make it in bodybuilding like I did, and they're making all this money, and I'm not. That's because they're working it, bro. Work it, you know? Work it, you know? I mean, don't just sit here and say the personal trainings and shit. That shit's not going to go nowhere. Dude, you people are personal trainers, too. That's not how you're going to make a lot of money. I'm going to tell you right now, if you saw what happened with this coronavirus, you can't train anybody. Gyms closed, all that shit, you go out of business. That's not a job, bro. You could use that as a supplement to a real job, but that's not a job. You're not going to be 80 years old, 70 years old, 60 years old going to the gym. Oh, I got a client. You got to constantly get new clients. It's bullshit. Unless you get one of these, you know, you're like a fucking whore, and you get the right fucking person that's fucking just fucking shelling you out $1,000 a week. But eventually, that's all not going to last. You know, at the end, Robby's trying to say, well, you know, even I see personal trainers today, and they don't know what they're doing. People throwing weights around the gym. Dude, it's a gym. That's what you do. Especially a hardcore gym, if people throw around weights. I don't want to hear anymore. Listen, the bottom line is, usually when, you know, it's like a fart. He who smelt it, dealt it. He who denied it, supplied it. Usually a guy pointing a finger saying he's a racist or he's a racist. That's because he's the racist. He feels slighted by the evil white man. Meanwhile, the evil white man put him in the magazines, put him on the cover of the magazines, flew him out to California, and he never went back to Tallahassee. He stayed there in Florida. Still lives there now. Living the dream. He don't want to work. He wants to wake up, smell the ocean in the morning, go for a jog on the beach. You know, maybe eat a falafel on the goddamn boardwalk over there, you know what I mean, and by the beach, you know, do some pull-ups, some chin-ups in the sand, go to the gym, come home, eat again, call up some broad, maybe get a cocksuck, smoke some weed with your friend, then go back out to the gym at night. That's what he wants to do. And he's mad because he's not getting paid for that. Because he's the legend. Dave Palumbo, I love you, but that one's wrong. You can't afford $1 for a legend? What does that fucking have to do with anything? Alright, speaking of scumbag fucking athletes, LeBron James. I have no respect. As a matter of fact, right on the ground, baby. That's how I feel about that fucking savage. Let me just tell you something. I put up a post on Facebook, you know, one of them things where he rants about white people and how evil white people are. The evil white man. Okay, the evil white people who pay his fucking, you know, pay to go see him play, you know, own the teams, give him money and shit like that. He's made hundreds of millions of dollars as a black man in an evil, racist white country. Think about that. Us evil white people enabled you to make millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. Commercials, everything. Boy, you poor oppressed man. Fuck you. I'm sick of that shit. All these fucking athletes making fucking billions off of Whitey. And then calling Whitey fucking evil white man, white privilege, white, you know, all this other shit. Go fuck yourself. Let me tell you something. I put up a fucking thing about LeBron James with that shit. With one of his quotes. You know what Facebook did? They put what do you call it? A tag on my post. Okay? Like they did with Donald Trump saying these facts are not accurate. Their fact checker said this fact is not totally accurate. So it means it's partially accurate. Okay, so, yeah, he doesn't like white people, but not all white people. Oh, okay. Now, you know. So they put a fact check on my fucking goddamn thing. They're fact checkers. Well, my fact checking says that he's a fucking, you know, just like if you look at up that guy the Joe Biden, Robert Byrne, who was the fucking, who was the, you know, head of the KKK. If you fact check, they'll be like, wait a minute, fact checking, it's not true. Joe Biden was friends with him. But he wasn't the grand poobah. He just was like the boss. You know what I mean? Like, dude, give me a break. He brought hundreds and hundreds of... He recruited hundreds and hundreds of white people back in the 60s and early 70s into the KKK. He was the recruiter. He did so well that they made him the head of this one big giant branch of the KKK, the powerful KKK, the powerful branch. Okay, and he became Joe Biden's buddy. And Joe Biden and him were like, you know, Joe Biden says he's one of the greatest men to ever live and all this other shit. And imagine if that was fucking Donald Trump. They fact-checking. Well, he wasn't the grand poobah, he was the boss, you know. Oh, yeah, you're right about that. What a fuck-up on my part. Listen to me. I don't want to fucking hear this shit anymore. I want LeBron James and all you fucking white people haters. You see pictures of Snoop Dogg licking fucking Donald Trump's asshole and shit when he was, on The Apprentice. They were buddies sitting there, going out to Donald Trump's parties and all that shit. But now you talk to him, and Donald Trump is a racist. He's a Nazi. He's a KKK. The only fucking Nazi KKK Jew lover that you ever heard in your life. Yeah, his daughter's Orthodox Jew, keeps an Orthodox Jewish kosher family, okay? Her home, the way they eat kosher foods and everything like that. Her little sons wear yarmulkes. That's Donald Trump's grandsons. And they fly on Air Force One with Donald Trump sometimes. And they have their little yarmulkes on. So Donald Trump is the first Jew-loving Nazi that ever lived. The fuck out of here. And KKK. You know how much the fight? First of all, the KKK fucking hates Jews just as much as they hate blacks. It's a toss-up. Flip a coin. Which one we hate more? I'm just telling you. So don't give me this bullshit. Don't give me any more of this bullshit. I'm sick of celebrities pulling this bullshit. I really, really am. And just because I say Black Lives Matter is a bullshit fucking organization, it doesn't mean that I don't believe that black people's lives don't matter. There's a difference between Black Lives Matter, the group, the political cult, and Black Lives Matter, the reality that people really, their lives do matter. They're two different things. They're not one and the same. The head of Black Lives Matter, one of the heads, okay, who actually handles all their funding and does all that stuff, is Susan Rosenberg, a white Jew, who was once, Google who Susan Rosenberg is. She was once a fucking, the number one fugitive in the country. She went to prison. She was a terrorist. Fucking Bill Clinton let her out, okay? Meanwhile, Roger Stone, they want to get on fucking, who did nothing wrong. There's not even a crime there. Okay, and they want to crucify Trump for pardoning him. But Susan Rosenberg, who killed police officers and everything like that, that's a different story. Let her free. Cops are bad anyway. That's who's running Black Lives Matter. It's one of them, one of a few, okay? Black Lives Matter doesn't give a shit about black people. Otherwise, they'd be over there in fucking Morocco and fucking Libya marching against the fucking slaves who they got hanging off of fucking ropes and stuff like that, upside down, selling them like they're broccoli. Like I've told you before, right? I've told you this. So there's a difference. Don't think that I don't think that you black people watching this, that your life doesn't matter because I say fuck Black Lives Matter. Fuck Black Lives Matter. I'm saying I believe in all lives matter, which includes you black people, which includes everybody's life is precious. I don't care if you're Mr. Gray that comes down from the fucking flying saucer. You have no right to take his life. His life is his life. Your life is your life. Nobody has any right to fucking tell you. And today you can't speak up or say what you feel. If you hate cops because they, look, I've had fucking prick cops up my ass too, bro. There's prick cops and there's good cops. Everybody's had both. Everybody. Okay, I have a friend who was a cop, who was a lieutenant, and he's had trouble with other cops from another people when he was driving on the road. And he's a fucking lieutenant. I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but what the bottom line is, it happens, okay? But if you hate cops because they're cops, right? But yet, hating black people because their skin's black, that's the same thing. There's no difference. Hate is hate. Hate's wrong. I don't hate anybody. I hate people whose heart is bad. Okay? I go by your heart, the way you think, and the way you treat other people. Alright? When I see these savages looting houses and shit, how come they don't loot in businesses and everything? Go loot like a business owned by some big celebrity. Let's see that celebrity come out now and fucking say, oh shit, or go to their house and march. Look at the fucking pig that fucking is the mayor up there in fucking in Seattle. Look at that fucking piece of shit. It's okay to overtake the town hall. So it's okay to overtake fucking, the police department and all that shit. It's okay to, they're having a summer of love in the streets, But the minute they came to her house, whoa, wait a minute. Now they got to be stopped, right? What do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen if they came to de Blasio's house or somebody like that, or Cuomo? Or they took one of their businesses that's owned by them and they burned it to the ground. You think Cuomo would say, well, they're just having fun, they're just a bunch of kids, it's confessing their dislikes, and they're just expressing their First Amendment rights, and get the fuck out of here. It's because they haven't fucking hit the spots yet. They're burning down shithole fucking neighborhoods, and they're going in like Saks Fifth Avenue and everything like that, but they haven't fucking gotten to where the Democrats are. Because the minute they start rolling in their streets, and the minute they start fucking up their neighborhoods, then it's like, okay, shut that shit down. Okay? Let me see them go burn. Well, AOC's from the same town I am. Okay? She's not from the Bronx. That's all a lie. She moved out here when she was 2 years old. But her grandmother supposedly lives there. So let's go see if they burn down her grandmother's house. Or they loot out there. Let's see if she still fucking says, well, my grandmother lost her house, but still, they have a right to... She'd be freaking out. She'll blame NYPD for not helping. Listen, guys. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is, That's the way it is today. You're going to have to fight back. If you don't fight back, and you don't open your mouth, and you don't stand for what you believe in, it's going to be too late. I'm just letting you know that. You can't let... don't be fooled. The Black Lives Matter is a slogan that they came up with. It's like if I came up with, God loves all his children. And I said, would you be part of that group? God loves all his children. God loves you and all of his children. You'd be like, yeah, of course. God loves me and he loves all of his children. You'd want to belong to that, right? That's what you say to me. Well, that's what they did. They sat back and they said, what if we came out with a thing, Black Lives Matter, like black people's lives matter. We'll get blacks on board saying, that's right, blacks' lives matter. But they're fooled. They're fooled by the slogan. That's why they're not over there in Chicago. That's why they're not where people are killing them. That's why they're not in South Central telling the Crips to stop fucking killing the Bloods and Bloods to stop killing the Crips. That's why they're not there. That's why they're not up in Libya. That's why they're not fucking... That's why they're not in, in the Bronx and places like that where they're all killing each other. Because they don't care. They don't give a shit. They don't give two shits. Anyway. I don't take a knee, bro, for nobody. I'm just letting you know. I stand up for what I believe in. Now, again, I'm at liberty to do this because I work for this, Muscle Sport Mag. I work for Generation Iron, do all this stuff. I don't care. But you may have a job where you got to watch what you do. Because I know too many people, too many stories of people who are even just associated with somebody who said something like, fuck Black Lives Matter, and they lost their job, they lost their income, they lost everything. Okay? It's not right. And the only way to fix that is one way. Get Trump back in. Because once Trump gets a second term, that's when he's going to start kicking ass. He can't do too much now because that'll stop his re-election. It'll stop a lot of shit. But once he's back, he's going to fix the economy totally. He's already fixing it now. And that's when the heads are going to roll. But if you don't fucking get him in there, bro, we're in trouble. I'm just letting you know. Look, you don't have to fucking like the man, but he gets results. And if you like the way you're living now, or, you like all this stuff, this turmoil that's going on. I'm not just talking about the COVID. I'm talking about the fucking bullshit that's going on right now. The looting, the rioting, the blacks calling every white a racist, their white privilege. If you love that, then you go vote for your Democratic fucking dead body there, fucking Joe Biden. If you like this, the way things are right now, and you want to see socialism come in and things get a lot worse, then you go vote your way. But if you don't like this, and you want your old life back, you want it to go back to the way when you were making money, when things were better, and you didn't have this where every fucking minute about people looking at white people and everybody's like, at each other's throat and this and that. If you didn't like this, if you don't like being, if you like being called a racist and this and that, the other thing, that's one thing. But if you want things to go back to the way it was, you gotta go with Donald Trump. I want my life back. I can't stand this bullshit. Anyway. Look, don't stress it anymore. Stand up for what you believe in. Don't take no knee for anybody. You don't have to fucking shout it from the mountains what you feel. Because you gotta watch, there could be repercussions. Even I wouldn't put a Donald Trump bumper sticker on my car, because Lord knows where I live, somebody will fucking pull up with a gun and fucking pop, 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 I'm in crazy-ass New York. Alright? See, there is limits to what you do, but you remember it privately, and you get your ass in that fucking voting ring, you voting booth, and you pull that fucking thing for Trump, or for Republicans. That's if you want your life back, and you want things back the way they were. But if you want this new shit, and you like this chaos, and you like to be called to fucking white privilege and lower than fucking shit, and you want black people you want to give black people money for slavery and do all that kind of shit. Meanwhile, nobody alive has been affected by slavery. Why don't you give Jews or give the slaves who built the pyramids money for what they put in? It's ridiculous. I'm not even going to get into it. It's stupid. It's dumb. And you can't even prove who's really a descendant of a slave. Not every black person was a slave. Okay? There were black people. There were black slave owners. We won't even get into that. But that's Google it. We're not going to get into that. This is not anti-black. I love black people. Okay, I love Hispanic people. My children's grandfather's black. Okay, my father is their grandfather on one side, that he's Italian, and the grandfather on their mother's side is black. My children are part black. Okay, I love them to death. I would die for them. My girlfriend is Mexican immigrant. Okay, she couldn't even speak English till she was 7 years old. I'm just telling you, it's the whole fucking thing. I've already given you the whole speech. I've got gay, lesbian, transgender. My fucking cousin died of AIDS. All right, my first cousin. Well, I'm just telling you, I don't give a shit. I love everybody. But Black Lives Matter is a cult. It's a group. It doesn't stand for fucking somebody's life. That's bullshit. And I stand against that, okay? I stand against that. Even if it was an Italian group that came out and they said Italian lives matter and they went around fucking doing the shit that these people do, I'd be against them. I'm against it. But it doesn't mean I'm against black people, because I love black people. There's a lot of great black people out there. Okay? And as far as Robbie Robinson goes, I don't hate Robbie Robinson. I don't have much respect for him. I just think he's I think he looks at people like, oh, I'm a legend, you're nobody, I should be making money, why are you making more money than me? And so he's going to use racism as a tool, he's going to use white privilege as a tool, as a bullshit, Don't believe any of that shit that you heard. Because I knew Joe Weider was not a fucking racist. How stupid, if he was a racist, why would he fly you out to California? Why were you on the cover of magazines and all that shit? You just want more money, you just don't want to work for it. That's what it boils down to. Alright, be good to your girl, be good to your significant other, be good to yourself. Don't beat yourself up over the shit shall pass. Just remember, up here, keep yourself tight, vote for what you believe in. If you don't like this shit that's going on right now with all this looting, rioting, everything, you don't vote Democrat, I'll tell you that now. Alright, I love you guys. I know some of you guys are sick of the racist rants, but this is what's going on today, and this is very important to our society. Your life, my life, everybody's life. If we don't get this shit right, your life ain't never going to be the same. We're all going to be fucked. Okay? Get your mind right. Don't stress. If you're having problems, go get help, bro. But, don't go committing suicide or get crazy like that. This is going to end. Unfortunately, it's probably not. We have to wait till November to see what happens and who gets in office and see which direction this country is going to go in. That's the unfortunate part. Hopefully it's going to go with Trump again, because we know what we got. We've already had him, and things were really good until this coronavirus hit, and then all this fucking George Floyd shit hit. And I do feel bad for George Floyd. God rest his soul. I don't give a shit if he was a criminal before that. That doesn't mean he deserved what that piece of shit did to him. Okay, let's be realistic. Be realistic. I know this guy's posting his fucking, oh, he did this armed robbery, this. I don't give a shit. He didn't deserve what happened to him. That's a fact. Okay? I don't hate anybody because of their skin color. Skin color means nothing to me. I don't even see that. I see what's in here. Your attitude, your heart. And I know when there's a Judas. I know when there's a rat. And a Judas trying to tell people, come this way. This is the way to go. This is the way to go. Alright. Remember this. Don't go yet. Don't go to the left. Stop fucking around. I'll see you in the next video.